Okay, I'm kind of like freaking out because I have like a interview situation going on and I haven't had like an interview in general for the past like 3-4 years. And so background story is I reached out to a retailer to see if I can like have a pop-up at their store, because I saw a post that some other brands were doing it at their store. So I kind of just like shot my shot and asked them through DMs like, hey, are you interested in me being in your pop-up? And so they reached back out saying like, hey, we would love to have a phone call with you. And honestly, it makes sense. It makes sense that they want to like just have a chat with me, just to get to know me. Like, you probably want to know who's gonna be at your store. And I don't know, like, I don't think they worded this as like an interview or anything, but maybe I'm just like freaking out too much about it, and I'm like thinking that this is an interview because they did say it's only like 5 to 10 minutes chat, and they probably just want to like get to know me and like when I'm free to do a pop-up and whatnot, because yeah, what else would they ask me? But anyways, like, I don't know if it's just the introvert in me or the one who just like stresses out all the time, but I literally have notes right now on my computer, like, of questions that they may ask. Like, why do you want to be here? Like, why do you want to have a pop-up ad at our store? Or like, tell me a little bit about yourself. I feel like when people ask me that, of like, tell me a little bit about yourself, I just freeze up and I like don't even know who I am. So I literally had to write notes down on who I am. I literally wrote down like, hi, I'm an Asian American artist, like, who sells stationery. Like, obviously in a regular conversation I could say that, but for some reason I needed to write that down. And I'm gonna have these notes during the call. And the call is in like 2 minutes, so like, wish me luck. Okay, so they said that they will call me in like 30 to 45 minutes. It's 2 o'clock now, and I now have 30 to 45 minutes of freaking out. Okay, we just got off the phone. It was like 15 minutes long. Actually, it was, no, 20 minutes long. And we secured a date for a pop-up. The good news is that we got the pop-up. The bad news is it's actually pretty soon. It's like in 2 weeks. And, I mean, I'm ready. It's just, now I have to get ready for it. And that was so nerve-wracking. Oh my god. But I think I did good. I didn't even like really reference the notes that I had, so it was just me talking. I was conversing with people over the phone, and they were so nice. Now I gotta get ready for the pop-up, and so yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so for this pop-up, I really wanted to launch my new pins and kind of see how the audience likes it, but it's taking a little bit longer than I thought. I sent my pins out, my designs out to a manufacturer maybe like 3 weeks ago, and I thought I would have enough time to kind of get it ready and everything, but it doesn't seem like it's gonna be ready on time. So I think the last time I used this manufacturer took about a month as well, from sending the design in to actually getting it to my door. The shipping part is the fastest part. I think it took about like 2 or 3 days. But then the longest part, which is right now, is kind of taking the design and making sure the colors are all correct. So what I did was I sent in my designs with their Pantone colors that I just pulled from like Pantones.com. But the issue is like them not translating the colors correctly on their end to their colors. For some reason, I don't know, maybe there's a better way to do this, but that's like the hardest part right now. But maybe it's because I'm looking at the Pantone colors through my computer, and even though I turned off like the color grades or the flux or whatever, it's still not like correct on their end. So I don't know if it's like my fault or their fault. I'm like this close and debating whether I should just like splurge on one of those like Pantone books, which cost like hundreds if not thousands of dollars just to get like the colors correct on both ends. But either way, like if you work with a manufacturer, they would also give you like a Pantone kind of booklet to use of like what they use. But like I said, like even with the flux off, like it's what I'm seeing is so different from what they're seeing, so it's kind of been a struggle. And because I think they're about like 12 hours ahead of us, I only get to speak to them like once a day, like around 9-10 p.m. That's when they start to answer me back, because that's when they start like 9 a.m. if not earlier. It's not even that like I can stay up a little bit later that day to like finalize everything so I can speak to them twice a day. They usually answer me about like 2 or 3 in the morning over here, so like I'm not going to stay up that late just to like give my feedback for them to potentially answer again, because I think they mostly work on one brand like once a day, because obviously they have like multiple brands that they have to like edit and help design with. So I don't know if it's worth staying up for, but I'm like, again, this close to buying a Pantone booklet just to get the colors right and make this a more seamless experience. So definitely not gonna have my pins ready for next week's pop-up, but I think one thing that I do want to update is some of the backing cards for my older pins. For example, my boba and my creative juice pin. I feel like because they were my first pins, I like literally didn't know what to do with the backing card, but I feel like I definitely evolved since then. Like just look at how basic these are. I took the pin out, but this was the backing card, and then this is my original boba pin. It's just like I feel like my art has evolved so much since I made these, I think in 2021. It's now 2024, and this is one of the pins that I recently made, the Yan Yan. I made it last year, and it's just way more like detailed than the first ones I did. I recently just posted a video on like my comparison between my old art from when I first started to right now, and it's crazy to kind of see your art evolve, because like I feel like you never really just look back, but it's crazy how much you change and your art changes throughout the years. Okay, so I just printed out the new designs for like the creative juice pin. I don't know if I'll have time for the boba pin, but this is what it used to look like. Sorry for the hole, but this is what it looked like, and this is what it now looks like, and it's kind of cute. I feel like it's definitely more me now. It's more detailed, and even though like I know people just throw this away right after getting the pin, I still love like making these cute little designs. I feel like it just like kind of stands out when you're like at a pop-up. I feel like I see most backing par kind of having like a very simple modern looking pin design, and it's like the same one for every single pin even though the design is different, and I feel like when you're a pop-up, it's easier for it to stand out if like each pin has their own unique design, and it's also fun for me. So I'm excited for this one to launch next weekend. Okay, in other news, other updates, it is the season of pop-ups, and I have 2 pop-ups that I'm scheduled for May, and I'm kind of like nervous about it because one of them is going to be a kind of a big company where I will be hosting in their like AAPI fair. So I'm going to be selling my products at their office with a bunch of other vendors. So I'm really not sure what to expect there because I'm like, I wonder how many people will show up. since it is an office, I don't know what their like work from home situation is. Is everybody going to be there or not? So I'm not sure like how much inventory to bring for that. So this pop-up will be on like a Wednesday, and then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I also have a pop-up, and that's gonna be in Brooklyn. I've never done like a multi-day situation before, so this is the first, and also a first one for a non-New Jersey pop-up, which was one of my goals. And that one I haven't like confirmed it yet, but I just have to pay for it at this point. It's the first one where there is a vendor fee for me, and it's like $300, and I'm like debating whether to stay in that area or just commute. But the like hotels that I've been seeing in the area are like, oh, it's like $600 for the weekend, which is understandable because it's a popular area within Brooklyn, but like total cost wise is gonna be like $900. And to be honest, I'm kind of worried about not making $900 plus more to profit off of this event. I know at the end of the day it's like a good opportunity because there will be a lot of traffic, but again, like, is it worth spending $600 on accommodations, or should I just suck it up and commute an hour and a half, if not more, every single day for 3 days? I don't know. I feel like I should probably just suck it up. Like, it's only 3 days, and I haven't had to like commute to work for my past job, so this would be like an everyday thing for most people, to be honest. Like, I would have had to do this if my job was not fully remote. I'm like leaning towards more commuting, but I'm just gonna kill myself for it when the time comes. Okay, we're on our way to DC just for the weekend. I feel like we have so many friends now that moved down there that we're gonna need like a week or two just to like see them all, but this weekend we're only gonna see 2 of them. We're also bringing our dog because our friends have dogs too, so they're just gonna play with each other while we're out. So yeah, come with us to DC for the weekend. Okay, so we just got back from DC, and I feel like I'm kind of the worst vlogger ever because I thought I would get a lot more content, but I didn't, because I feel like when you're like hanging out with your friends or whatever, like you just kind of want to live in the moment and not have your camera in front of everybody and like be working all the time, and that's exactly what happened. But we just kind of hung around with our friends for the last few days, ate a bunch of good food. We had like bottomless brunch, some good Korean food, and then we just drove home. Like, we didn't do anything like super crazy because it's not like our first time in DC. We've already done the touristy things already, so this was more meant to kind of just catch up with our friends that we haven't seen in a minute. But now that we're back, I am actually getting ready for the next trip, which is insane. This is kind of like my last vacation, I guess. For the year, I am kind of done with traveling, and I actually have one more trip, I think, after this, but it's gonna be like later in the summer, and it's not really like a vacation per se. It's like more visiting people rather than like chilling on the beach or something. But this will be my last one of the year, and I'm actually excited that like we're going and that's it. Like, I don't think I want to do anything else for the rest of the year. And I think that's kind of like pretentious to say because everyone wants to be on vacation, but I just got back from Japan like a month ago, and we're already going on another vacation, and it just happened to work out for everyone that we're going with, so we couldn't push it to like later in the year. I think that ideally is when I would want it, so we can have like a little bit space between Japan and this next trip, but it's okay. Like, I think we're gonna have a great time anyway, and it's great weather. We're gonna be like by the beach and everything. It's only for a week as well, so right now I kind of just wanted to finalize a few things before I leave. One of them being my pins. I think I mentioned earlier in this vlog that it's been like 3 and now 4 weeks going on working with this vendor. And I think it's like pretty typical for it to last this long in the process, and just want to make sure everything is right. I think like in the past I felt a little pressure to like kind of move things forward, even though like I didn't love the colors 100%. And it's not even like the pressure from the manufacturer or the vendor itself, it's just from me. I'm like, oh, I just want to like get this over with. I'm so tired of like going back and forth with everyone. But this time around I want to have my foot down and like be honest about like, hey, I hate these colors, let's try another color instead, until I actually like the pin. Not that I don't love any of my pins, it's just that like the littlest color I would have wanted to change it so that it's like 100% perfect. But yeah, anyways, it's Thursday now. I'm leaving on Saturday, and right now for the manufacturer it's like Thursday night, so tomorrow will be the last day for me to like give them an update. And I asked them if like they can update me a little bit earlier in the night so that like I can stay up tonight to give them an update, and then another update after that when they work on it on Friday midday or whatever. Because it's just like one more color that I want to finalize, and that's it. Like I want to be able to go on my vacation on Saturday, and they're like working on production already, and then by the time I get back it will be kind of completed and on its way to my place. And I actually want it ready on a certain day of this month because it's like a national holiday of a specific food, and I think it'll be like the perfect time to launch this specific pin. And I know it's not the end of the world because I can just launch it all together on another day, but I think it'll be kind of cute to launch it on that day.